This is just a quick video on what I call alternative weapons and also less than lethal weapons, possibly. Of course, you know, many of us watching these channels, many of us are big time knife guys as well as gun guys. So that goes without saying that I think the best form of self-defense is a gun, possibly backed up by the knife as a second form of self-defense. But there are some people who choose not to arm themselves for whatever reason. It baffles my mind, and people are still terrified of guns and whatever. It really gets me crazy. But so for those people, there are a couple of alternative choices out there. And I guess what I will start first with, everyone has heard of it, but I recommend pepper spray to anyone I know that refuses to carry a gun or a knife, because it's a great form of self-defense. The primary purpose of this is to get the person to stop attacking you so you could run away. So where a gun or a knife is, we want to stop the threat, no matter what it takes to stop that threat from happening to us. This one here, it's non-lethal or less than lethal. You're going to spray it, you're going to block their eyes, make their nose run. They're going to be temporarily incapacitated. And that's in most cases. I know several people from different businesses that I've been in, you know, security guys and things like that, who are practically immune to pepper spray. They've been involved with so many incidents of pepper spraying that these guys could use it like a breath mint, like a banaka or something. That's how many times they've been involved with it, and it no longer really affects them. But for the most people, the mere mortals amongst us, I'd say 99% of people would be affected. And the one thing I will say quickly, if you're going to get a pepper spray, practice with it a couple of times, just like everything that we talk about. You have to train and practice, even with the pepper spray. Because I bought pepper sprays for all the females in my family, and some of them have barely even taken them out of the box, and they've thrown them in the pocketbooks. And when I see them, I ask them, have you ever tried it? And they say no. So I know my wife, my daughter, and they have definitely tried them. And what that means is just go in the backyard, make sure you're shooting it downwind, and just spray it a few times. And also get the simpler ones. There are some pepper sprays where you gotta turn the knob, do this, do that. In the heat of the moment, you're never gonna be able to do that. This is a Spitfire Saber Red. It's pretty good. I bought a bunch of these. You just basically push it down and push it forward. I'm not gonna do it because I don't wanna choke on camera, but it's a real easy thing to do. I recommend a pepper spray for anyone who refuses to carry a gun or a knife. The next thing that I tell people to carry is a Kubaton. A Kubaton, a lot of people are familiar with, but it's basically a blunt instrument that could cause trauma to the soft targets on the face, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the throat, as well as it could be used for pressure pointing. So if someone is grabbing you, you can press this against a certain part of their wrist and they will have to drop you know, their hold on you, because it's impossible to keep up a hold when this is pushing on certain points on your wrist or wherever. So a Kubaton is a great thing. And thirdly, a key. I see a lot of videos, a lot of people talking about keys, and they always talk about, oh, when you go to the parking lot, you know, put each key inside your finger here, I guess, you know, like this. And if you're attacked, you know, you punch the person. Well, I think that's a terrible idea, because if you ever try this in theory, it doesn't work. When you go to punch with the key is going to go like this. You might bang your own finger, break your finger. It's not going to happen. If you have a bunch of them, they're going to spread out, and you're just going to upset the person, and you're not going to really stop them. If you have to use a key as a form of self-defense, I think a better way to do this is like this, where if you're walking to a parking lot, you don't have anything else on you, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you refuse to, you hold the key simply like this. If someone did attack you, you're actually just using this tiny part right here, and you go a slashing motion across the face, as many times as you could possibly do it, preferably across the eyes. I'm not advocating this. I'm saying, again, in a self-defense situation. And that actually, believe it or not, would be a better deterrent than this, because this is going to bend and go all over the place and not hit the target. This would be a slashing motion. It could possibly help stop the threat. Some other forms of non-lethal or alternative weapons are, your basic batons. Again, this is also whatever is legal in your state. Some of these things are illegal in some states. Some of these things are only legal to have in your home. You can't take them in your car or outside, your home. But, a simple baton like that, very easy. It's a self-defense weapon. It could work. It could do maximum damage, again, to help you defend yourself. This is a large version. What's good about this is it could deliver some quite powerful blows. It could also be used as a push tool. If someone was attacking you, you jam that into their throat, into their mouth, and you push them back. I've seen this done where was thrown into someone's teeth, and they could not resist but falling backwards. So besides breaking all their teeth, they fell to the ground, and at that point, depending on the level of seriousness of their attack towards you, if you want to follow up with the series of blows to them, you could do that, or if not, you could just push them away and make your exit. So that's one form. That's another form. There's also many versions of those. So this is just a miniature baton. Same principle. It could deliver quite devastating strikes if you know where to do the eyes, the nose, the face. It could do it. So I think it's something that if you're going to refuse to carry a gun or a knife, that's one. This is another version of it. This is very, very effective. If you wrap this leather strap around your hand, this is lead with a steel core surrounded by leather. Unbelievably effective. Again, self-defense situation. You hit someone on the side of the face in the jawline, and they're going out. If you hit them in the temple, you're going to kill them. So make sure they're trying to kill you before you do back to them. But this can be quite a devastating weapon for such a small, little, inexpensive tool. And again, the purpose of this is it's got a steel spring inside it. So when you're hitting this, that's that final snap, and you have to practice this. So if you have a self-defense place or gym or business where you can go to, you have to practice this. I have a place where we have, a whole bunch of those bobs, so they have faces on them, and you could practice all types of things on it. And maximum effectiveness, it's hard to do from sitting, but if you had to, again, to the side of the head, if you hit someone on the nose with this, you're absolutely positively breaking someone's nose. And unless it's the most determined of determined attackers, I'm telling you, if you break someone's nose, they're going to stop. The blood that gushes out all over the place, they're going to stop their attack. So that's just my opinion on that. Another version of that is the simple slapjack. Same thing, easily concealed in your pocket. You could wear it inside your pants like a gun holster, and if drawn, you can pull out and do a backhand, a forehand, and a couple of shots. The whole thing to something like this, these impact weapons, is repeated shots. You don't do one shot and see if that worked. You have to do shot after shot until the target is no longer in front of you. So either they ran away or they're down on the ground. And at that point, you make the decision to continue or to exit the situation. So those are a couple of items. This is an item that could be found in everyone's home or certainly in any restaurant. And I can tell you, many years ago, I used a salt shaker in a self-defense situation. I was in a bar in a particular bad area and time, and a couple of people decided that me and the person I was with would be the target, and this was inside a bar. And I'm not going to go into it, but let's just say that you hold something like this in your hand. If you deliver a straight punch or several, you're getting maximum impact. It just makes your punch that much more solid. So, sometimes you have to look around. If you don't have your gun or your knife on, you have to look around and see what could I use if an attack situation happened. Obviously, if someone's shooting at us, a salt shaker isn't going to do it. But if you have a couple of guys and you're outnumbered, if there's 3 guys, 4 guys, against one or two. You know, you can go just with your bare hands if you have training, but anything that, you know, increases your odds of winning, for me, is a positive thing. So, believe it or not, a salt and pepper shaker. And then you have the old standby, where legal. They call them brass knuckles, but they're sold as paperweights. You know, the way you use this is you tuck your fingers underneath it. I have seen people try to use these and actually break their hands because they don't hold them right. You tuck your finger down, and at that point, this could not be relieved from your hand. People could not get it away from your hand. If you're not holding it tight enough, I have seen situations where these were ripped out of someone's hand, and once it was used back on the person that had it. Again, not the first choice. I do use it as a paperweight. I don't walk around with this. It is illegal where I live, so it just stays on the desk as a paperweight. But again, in a situation, if you came into someone's office, for instance, and they had this as a paperweight and someone was attacking you, you can use this and deliver a very, very powerful blow. In that same note, they have these little things that they sell on Amazon and eBay. It's not quite the same effect as a heavy object. It's a very light object. But this is, again, last resort. Someone's attacking you, multiple lightning quick strikes to the face, neck, throat area, eyes, and even though it's a very, very small blade, it's a double-sided blade on each one of these, you could create quite a lot of damage to the attacker. And the bottom line is, most attackers are whatever, they're on drugs, they're on this or that, and they're not expecting someone to come back at them with real force and ferocity. And, you know, I say it time and time again. I personally, as well as people that I train with and talk about, you know, we sort of like to let God or ourselves be in control of our fate. So if someone chooses to attack me personally, I'm going to do everything I could to, there's a Doberman, two Dobermans, but I'm going to do everything I could do to stop that attack. So this is a great item right here that would definitely stop the attack. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, easy to go. And last but not least, being from New York, this was very popular back in the day. I don't carry it around too often, but the old-fashioned Louisville Slugger, baseball bat. If you were ever attacked, if you had a situation where a road rage person, you know, came after you and you didn't have a gun or a knife, the old baseball bat, it still works. And could create quite a lot of damage if held and wielded correctly. So these are just a couple of ideas of some are non-lethal, some could be lethal. I guess a lot of things could be lethal. You know, a salt shaker could be lethal. If you punch someone repeatedly, you could kill them. But for the people out there that refuse to carry a gun or a knife, this is just a couple of extra choices. And there's many, many more. This is just a couple of little things that I grabbed. But, you know, sometimes if you're in a situation, look around at your surroundings. Again, with all these attacks that are happening out of the random now, these crazy, you know, ISIS people, yeah, they're coming in with the gun. Sure, a slapjack, a billy club, a baton, it's not going to be the most effective thing. But I don't know, maybe if you can get the drop on them, if you take cover, and if that's all you had, you know, after you took cover, and you were able to, you know, hit the guy, and you can certainly take someone out with something like this. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a bad time that we're living in right now. Let's hope the next presidential candidate and the next president is a little tougher on these animals than our current president is. And I don't want to get political, but it's a really scary situation. A lot of people out there are very scared about some type of terror attack and some kind of random attack, as well as I am. You know, it's all of us guys, we carry guns. We don't want to have to use a gun in a self-defense situation. It's not fun. It's not something that we look forward to do. It's, you know, most of our guns are for, you know, collection and hobby. Of course, they're for home defense, self-defense, but it's not something we wake up ever, you know, saying, I hope I shoot someone today. That's never the case for me, that's for sure, and I'm sure for most of you guys. But we have to be able to protect ourselves, and if we can't do it with just our bare hands, then have something like this. All right, so that's just a quick video. Thanks for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.